How's it going, guys? My name is Graeme, and welcome to a first look of the upcoming Banners of Ruin. This is a sponsored video coming from the developers Monte Bearo and the good folks at Indie Boost. It comes self-described by the developers as a in-between of Slay the Spire and Darkest Dungeon, two indie games that I absolutely love. And so I just had to give it a try. I couldn't say no to that. That was too good. We'll do a speed round version of the tutorial, assuming that we'll know most of the mechanics from those other two games. The Blackfoots have been dealt a mighty blow by the fearsome House Ender. Landon seeks his revenge. You and others loyal to the cause have been tasked with bringing the great city of Dawn's Point to its knees, but the odds are against you. Cards in deck, members in party, and florins, which is probably the currency. I personally take cards into combat, and then my party members also have their own cards that they bring with them. If they die, I lose those cards. Right now, all I have is Gray. It's Graeme and Gray teaming up together, and all he has to bring to the table is a hatchet. There's also room for a secondary weapon and other types of cards. Or you could have a two-handed item that would take up both slots. You could see he also had medium armor there. I don't know if that's something I could swap out or will be inherent to specific characters. We move through the streets with an elite at the end. That feels like the navigation of Slay the Spire. So I have three different street options, each with a counter. By selecting any one street, the other counters start going down. If they reach 0, I remove that possible option. I'm at half health, so it makes sense to stop at the herbal remedy and receive a quick heal. That obviously counted down since it was the only one since I used it, and this one reached 0, similarly counting down. Tunnel walls. Sharp granite stones flank you, thick with moss and smelling foul. This tunnel doesn't see much use. Blocked in on either side, I have to move through the prisoner. Two guards block the path to your companion. You'll have to go through them. And so I'll be able to fight off this guard, maybe several guards, and rescue my buddy. We have health and defense, similar to something in Slay the Spire. The health persists, the block goes away. But it seems to be for the entire combat rather than by turn. Cards cost stamina and will to play. Stamina recharges, will does not. Characters have an intent. These guys both started with light armor. The intent is down below. Safety in numbers. On turn start, if this character has 3 or more allies, their defense is raised to 10 and deals 8 damage and applies safety in numbers. Gotcha, so that they're both getting ready to attack and apply the safety in numbers. And when you hover over them, it outlines my guy in red to show who they're targeting. So just like Slay the Spire, you can see in great detail who's targeting what and what their intents are. There's the interesting, more Darkest Dungeon-like quality of having different ranks, a front and back, that exists in other games as well. This weapon can only be played by the character holding it. This little symbol lets me know who specifically is in possession of that, and the rest of them are my own cards to play as I will. First thing, I'll hatchet an enemy, 8 damage. If it breaks the target shield, gain 2 charge. The next time the character attacks, or for every attack in a multi-attack, the damage is increased by the stacks of charge. Charge is then removed. So, first thing here, I will break this guy's shield. I'll do 2 damage, and then I'll have my extra bonus little charge there. So now I should try and do another attack. Rush deals 1 damage 3 times, and charge would be applied to each attack in the chain, and so this would be 9 full damage, correct? I should be able to fly straight through this guy. Yeah, it would have been 9. No mercy, you showed them, but you're out of stamina. Now one of your cards costs 0 to play. Time to use it. Deal 6 damage to the opponent with the lowest vitality. I have no choice there. Can slice away his shield at the very least. Discard piles and everything, easy enough to understand. Quick stab from this guy. Safety in numbers. Not going to apply, not going to matter. He's going to try to do 6 damage. I still have my shield blocking me, but if we can finish him off, all the better. Use Sharpened Steel to finish him off. Deal weapon damage, 8. So this is affected by the hatchet I'm carrying, which is kind of interesting, even though it itself is not the hatchet card. And apply 4 bleed. The character takes vitality damage equal to the stacks of bleed, which ticks down each turn. That's exactly how poison works in Slay the Spire. It did look like his block. No, I took away his block. I did that myself. Combat rewards, we get gold, and we get to select a card. Which here, Sharpened Steel, adding a lot of bleed is handy. Deal weapon damage +8. It uses a lot of stamina, but it's pretty heavy. And toe-to-toe, whenever this character attacks an opponent on the same lane, gain, shield, and banish. Moves it to the banish pile where it removes for the remains for the remainder of the combat, like exhausting a card. That seems okay. The fact that it needs to be in the same lane, does that just mean front and front, back and back? Or does it mean the actual rows? Like, I don't know exactly how we're defining a lane here. I like the idea of keeping Sharpened Steel and building up a lot of bleed. After 3 rounds, yeah, okay, I did all that. It made it seem like I won a second victory all of a sudden. An old friend. You emerged victorious, revealing your companion. Select an old friend to add him. He's carrying his own stuff. Ambush. Oh no, you've been ambushed. It blocks all the remaining lanes. Resolving any one of them removes all of them. Quick glimpse at the party here. We have Eidwick. If we look at him, he comes with a great sword, which is that a two-handed weapon? Maybe in his hands it only counts as a 1. 12 damage, attacks all targets on ranks. That would be like the entire front or back. I love the way they've manipulated this like painted textures of the characters to give them more depth and feel, like give them some level of animation, so it's just not just like a static image. Here it's quite simple, but it is quite well done. Oh, I turned it the second he was turning his head. Maybe we'll get to see it again there, but you can see his head kind of turns. That's really cool, right? I really love the look of that. Start each combat with 14 armor, and this guy starts each combat with 14. Yeah, they're both medium. He's starting to level up a little bit. The fact that you have that progression is really cool. I'm excited about that. We'll try and stomp our way through our ambush here. We got a different character type, a big old rabbit this time. Enemies in different ranks attack on alternating turns. The next rank to attack is indicated by the red bar. So so they won't both attack in the same turn. That's wildly different than what I was expecting. So this front rank will attack first. I'm guessing lane then means these two guys are the same lane. The weasel and the rabbit are in the same lane. And this guy in the back here might also be in the same lane. If you kill everyone in the active rank, the other rank goes instead. So if next up was the front rank's turn, it won't skip. It would instead go to the back row. There seemed like there could be some interesting strategy there to make sure you finished them off at a particular time to skip a turn, but that's probably too strong. Weapons and talent cards can only be played by their wielder and only if they have the will and stamina. Ooh, and okay, you switch between the active characters to determine who would actually be playing a specific thing here, so I can swap between them there. The Great Sword, super strong, attacks an entire rank. Try to use it to attack this entire row, yes? So I think I can target either one of them, and it attacks both of them. I think it's silly that it looked like he swung his sword twice. It would make more sense if it was one big swing that hit everyone. But I totally blasted through my stamina, so that's all I can do there, and now I can plan my own remaining attacks. Oh, it's given me the strategies. I could have tried to figure it out for myself, but I can hatchet this back row guy, use rush, same as we would have seen in the previous little warm-up thing, and then I can use No Mercy to take out either one of them, really. They both seem like they're about to do the same amount of damage. Oh, No Mercy I don't get to choose. That's right. It's the lowest vitality. And if they're equal, then I'm sure it chooses itself. Yeah, nice try. The safety in numbers, not gonna happen today. But yeah, I'm trying to play it. Let me just play it here. Oh, it messed with the game's brain because I have 2 sharpened steels now. Draw 2 cards, and next turn I would have this preparation that allows me to also draw more cards. Overbearing swing. Deal weapon damage if two-handed weapon. Deal damage to the entire lane. I like the sounds of that. I'm going to pick that up, and if I don't already have a two-handed weapon, I hope I get one soon. Gray has leveled up. upgrade stamina or will. I'm going to go with stamina for now, and next time I'd probably do will, and I get to add a card. 3 different talent options. Tenacity. This character removes all stacks of bleeding, poison, crippled, vulnerable, or overwhelm. Gains 3 block for every stack cleared. That's probably super useful if you're fighting enemies that stack that stuff against you like crazy. I don't know if I would do that right away, maybe further down the line. Attrition. Deal 5 damage X times for each unique status effect on the opponent. So if I piled up bleeding and crippled and overwhelm on them myself, then I could really hammer on them. I don't have a lot of status dealing cards. Natural selection. If target opponent has more health than active character, draw a card. If less, discard a card. Oh man, a lot of this is really based around like long-term strategic planning rather than just immediate, easy, simple damage output stuff. I wonder what forfeit would do. I probably don't want to forfeit. What if I did it? What happens if I forfeit? Did I lock it up? What is the benefit of forfeiting that? And I guess there's just the appeal of keeping your card count down. But I've locked it. We'll see if the next time I open one up, maybe if it provides even more options, like if it's those same 3 options or if they're totally new. So, a ton of walls. Enter the city instead. A small hatchway leads into a damp, dark chamber behind the city wall. For House Blackfoot. You open the hatch and enter the city. Foes block your path. You can't move this way without a fight. Take their blood for Landon. I'm going to go right up the middle here. I played a game from this developer ways back. It was something Lyra. It was like totally a choose-your-own-adventure sort of thing in this same world. I don't know what happened with that one, but I was really liking how that was shaping up. I hope they don't totally have that one disappear. Apply 5 block to target ally. Move, swap them to target position. Do I have my greatsword so I can just hit everyone? Not even. The overbearing swing, it is holding it with 2 hands. So it should, to the lane though, not the rank. Sharpened steel, that's a good one to have. I'll probably throw that out. And discard a card and gain 3 to my extra damage dealing. Which I think makes the most sense to apply to him. I'll use up your stuff first. I think I can use every card this turn. So deal 12 damage. I'm going to slap this big guy around a bunch there. I'll use my momentum next. Like, I would have the chance to use every one of these cards. But I kind of want to have the momentum first, you know. There's that trade-off to have there. Instead, I won't worry so much about the defending. I don't know. These guys are all about to do damage, actually. And they're all targeting me. All targeting him. So maybe I should have worried more about that. Instead, what I'll do, sharpen steel. Oh, right. I forgot I have my charge to kill him with. So that's a swap in defense, offense in that particular regard. Killing him is yet another way to defend, but I'm still going to take a little bit of damage here. I'm going to poke through the defenses just a sliver. I have the hatchet and the greatsword. I'll use the greatsword since I have it and have the character available to use it. I should... he has no shield to break through, so I'm not going to gain the charge bonus or anything, but I'll be able to slice through those guys quite easily. Apply for marked. When this character dies, stacks of shield, no shield, or like vulnerable, it receives more damage, are applied to members of their party. So if you have to kill them within the time of marking them before that trickles away. Doesn't do any damage. Swapping positions, that could be useful if you need... If you want someone to swap to the back rank of defense, maybe, so that they get 2 turns in a row, essentially. Deal weapon damage. Or you could save someone. You could save someone a little bit. I don't have to worry about that sort of stuff right now. Trauma seems interesting. I could play around with that. Seems like it could be a fun one. Off-duty guards, courage, and overzealous guards. These silly louts reek of booze and other wicked activities. Leave them to their devices and they'll probably pass out. But you could brush them aside if needed. I was thinking bum rush them. This will take some guts. Strength can be found through adversity. A chance to improve. Interesting. On expiring, spawns drunken guards. Here, a chance to improve. And overzealous guards, a pair of guardsmen are rounding on a black bear. Investigate. That's probably the opportunity to get a party member. These are not the sort of considerations I expected to have to make beyond just simply killing things. This seems really cool. The chance to improve sounds fun. I want to know what that means. Some enders are hot on your tail. You turn a cover to find a seemingly dead end. On your tail means more in this world than it would in most, really. Idwick yells, "Over here, a hatch!" Ah, the cursed thing is sealed. Force it open, Idwick gains 1 maximum stamina, suffers 10 damage, or steel yourself and enter combat. Yeah, a maximum increase in stamina? That sounds really great. He exhaustively bludgeons the lock with their weapon until it finally thunders open. Get in, quick! As Idwick begins to heave the doors shut, a deft arrow finds its mark in their shoulder. You disappear into the shadows. Damage taken, but that extra stamina seems huge. And now I have to confront drunken guards. I don't have to confront them, it just turned into them. Oh, I can glimpse what's at the end of the lanes. This service at the end of this lane will allow you to modify your deck or character's equipment. This service at the end of the lane will allow you to hire characters for your party. Then healing will allow you to heal. I probably would lean towards the party member. That seems cool. We'll see. I won't dedicate myself too much to any particular thing. A fine opportunity to fleece these idiots for every penny on them. They'll face worse when they're disciplined. 300 florins. That's a huge payday. Decoy. You find yourself faced with a hard situation. If you can set up a distraction, you might be able to work around it. Select a card, move it to this lane. +1 to its counter. So I could hold on to something a little bit longer if needed. A throng of people gather in front of the market stalls. They're packed like sardines, bustling to make a trade. You won't be getting through them. This lane is blocked. I'll deal with the drunken guards. I'll take the florins. Nice freebie. And that's slowly ticking away. Quick round. The heat of the city dries your throats, and the strain of combat is taking its toll. There's a chance to duck into a brewery. It's not Blackfoot stuff, but it'll do you good. Heal party by 50%. See, I should probably just take that now rather than going to the combat and risking things. We'll heal up. We got Idwick back to full health. My options are combat or the Blackfoot contact. A cloaked figure emerges from the alleyway. They reveal a crow's foot brooch under the lapel, a swig of the good stuff, a chance to heal. Not worried about it because I'm already healed. I could do the combat, and next turn it'll still be there. So we're better off going for the combat. Second Wind. Draw 1 card and gain Vigor. The next time this character spends stamina, it is refunded and Vigor is removed. I could do quite a bit with that. Let's try this out with our bear. And then, so he has Vigor. Spend stamina. It's refunded. Okay, yeah. Character gains pacified. You gain a bunch of black and pacified. It cannot play cards. So I would be stopped for a little while there. I like that I can alternate these guys actually, and I can kind of play around with that a little bit. So I'm gonna break through the shield so I get the additional charge. Then I'll use a sharpened steel. Then I'm going to use your sharpened steel. It's refunded, so I didn't actually spend that. Guess discard for a charge. I guess I wouldn't really get anything out of that. You guys are targeting 1 each. Only 8 damage. Moves swaps to a random position. It's only going to be 8. It's nothing crazy. And you're the only one who can use the solid footing right now. So I'm going to go ahead and give you that option. Yeah, the pacified's already gone. So you don't want to use it in the middle. So there he is, shuffling position. You don't want to use it in the middle of your turn. If you use it at the end like that, totally fine. The bleeding finished off that other guy, which was sick. I am just trying to see, can I just finish this off with a nice simple, yeah, just put an end to that. Crushing it. Overbearing. Kick. It has the same art. I'm sure that's being worked on. Game isn't fully released yet. Select a target. If the position behind them is vacant, move them to it. Could be a useful... it makes more sense in Darkest Dungeon to have position management stuff like that, when every turn, every one of those skills is more or less available. Here you have to hope you draw the cards that'll be relevant and useful to go along with it. So those trade-offs are a little bit more risky. The overbearing swing is still handy. And if I have that other move that allows me to like recharge stamina, that's really cool. I should probably, if I can forego picking up some of those cards, I probably should. A Sadist's Cunning, draw a card for each status effect on target opponent. Miasma, gain Miasma. Every time you draw a card, apply 1 poison to a random opponent. That seems kind of neat. It costs a lot of stamina to pull that one out, actually, and some will. And strong stuff, restore 15 vitality, but gain poison. So if you use that towards like the end of the combat, presumably poison doesn't persist to the next combat, and it would dwindle. Increases by 1 each turn. Oh, poison starts stacking itself? Well, that's horrible then. Poison's so devastating. I guess that's why it's different than bleeding. I think the Miasma is fun, and I'm going to play around with it, and I'll upgrade the stamina. The fact that you can upgrade that makes a really big difference. A combat, the healing opportunity, or execute, you dispatch the militia guards with ease. However, 1 mouse is left, begging at your feet for his life. Decide. You meander through narrow passages of the city when you hear a command from behind. Halt! What's your business? You and your men take down the guards in swift response with ease. 1 mouse remains, trips and falls back into a corner. Please, have mercy. I was just doing my job. What should we do? Execute him, permanently ruining a card, or let him go. You leave the mouse, who scurries off in the other direction. A short while later, he appears again in your path, this time with friends. There they are. Get them. It was either going to pay off later with something positive or immediately with something bad. Oh, we got to deal with a big bulky bear all of a sudden. An enforcer. There's a lot of damage to be dealt. Has 3 or more allies. His block will be raised to 10, not by 10, to 10. There's a lot of damage getting lined up at once here. Winded. Next turn, lose 1 stamina for every stack of Winded. Then Winded is removed. That's brutal. Winded is really brutal. I will use this again. The second wind seems... Oh, dang it. I didn't draw anything that has like an excessive... It works best when it's something that requires a high amount of stamina, you know? Now it's like not that interesting. Apply defenses. Who are people primarily targeting? So 8, 10, 18, and it's not their turn. Most of this stuff is on you right now. Will you... I'm trying to... Is this not what we're doing here? Okay, I can move them wherever I wanted. I thought we had to swap spots. Is that still who you target? Oh, it's not tied to the character. It's tied to the position. Now suddenly that makes so much more sense why that would be considered so valuable. That's really awesome. All right, break the shield. So Mercy will be, or I should use Rush right now. Actually, that's way more useful at the moment. And, I can still keep using this with the lowest vitality, so I'll finish him off. Unfortunately, I didn't really get to do anything with Idwick. He was quite idle, but I've kept everyone with like their shield up and everything, so that's pretty huge. They're both targeting Gray right now, so I should worry about that. I could add a bunch of solid footing to him. What else could I do? I could do damage to multiple people in the same lane, I believe. But I could do both. I could do both, actually. All targets in rank. Oh, do you know what? I want you to apply a trauma first. Then I want to try and greatsword everyone in this. And 12 weapon damage in a single lane? If I'm understanding this, would it hit the rabbit in front? Deal damage to full lane? Is it a two-handed weapon? That's the part I haven't understood yet. Okay, it attacked both of them. Everyone now has this vulnerable applied. You use the solid footing. No more cards. That's fine. And I could so easily... I could take out both of these guys, actually. Not having Winded applied would be pretty huge. I'm going to start chipping away at the bear, though. He's vulnerable. Now he's bleeding. That was like a huge turn. The strategies are starting to unfold with more complicated lanes of characters and interactions and everything. That's really exciting. Every time you draw a card, hey? So it has to be you who uses that. What is your weapon damage? It's only 8. I mean, that's still enough to take out this guy. Alright, greatsword. First thing, swiped the vulnerable. I forgot he was vulnerable. I was already thinking, even without that, the bleed would kill him on the next turn. And now suddenly, whatever I do doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter who gets the kill. I assume they both get the same experience. That's something to keep in mind. Status effects resolve in the order they were applied. Pay attention. I guess I should be reading those little tool tips. Taunt. Select a target. If the position in front of them is vacant, move them up to it. Withdraw. We've seen that one. And reserves. Draw a card for each character in the back rank. Back rank characters gain 1 vigor. That sounds really cool. You can't pass on a card. Oh, do you know what? I totally can. I totally can do that. I should select... I could back out and I could move on without selecting one. That's totally an option. I should try and work on getting someone else to join the party here. Hide. If you're quick, you can duck away and avoid any suspicious guards. You'll probably get some weird looks from other folk. Discard from each other lane. So I would remove both of these. Large crowd. That's going to block me for a bit. Mentor. Now seems like a good time to take a short rest. There might be something to learn here. Great. Let's see what we could do. Duplicate a card in your deck. Training alone only embeds your errors. Leave. Let's take a look at potentially duplicating something. No Mercy is pretty awesome, actually. I do like that one a lot. I already have a few sharpened steels. Second Wind is pretty cool. And either character could use it. A second No Mercy seems like it would be really quite cool. Heavy Patrol. Your attention turns to the clatter of heavy steel as several armored men cross your path. Their sly, helmet-muffled voices hurl insults at the common folk as they move through the crowds. This one has like an extra... Is that like an extra difficult combat? I think if I hide here, both these will go away, if I'm understanding that. Totally removed. Another heavy patrol, an altar, a humble cedar wood shrine, smells like home. Nobody seems to be paying it any attention. Nobody from Dawn's Point, anyway. And the Brawlers, a group of bears, each as wide as a barrel, spar within a makeshift wrestling pit. Their defensive stances are remarkable. Chance to spend some money could be good and add some defensive cards. That's something I don't have a lot of. I have very little of it, honestly. It hasn't been that important since I just go offense, offense, offense. Let's pick up a defensive card, as tempting as the altar would be. Colossal Smash. Remove all shield, deal damage equal to the amount lost. Awesome. Love moves like that. Tight Formation. Each character in your rank gains 8. That's pretty great to sure up everyone. Reckless Aid. Apply 15 to an ally. Active character and the ally both gain Winded. Ooh, that is quite reckless. Doesn't cost a lot. And I already have Withdraw. I love Colossal Smash. I don't know if I should be trying to shed all my block like that. I should be more worried about gaining block. I think the idea of healing multiple characters is really good. Reckless Aid, if it's going to let me buy both. If it's going to let me buy everything, I'm doing it. Didn't care about having a second of that other card. Crossroads. Clear street to this depth. The street branches in front of you. It will be difficult to come back through the bustling crowd. So if I do this, is everything going to reduce down to 9? All right. Makes sense. That's pretty cool. I like the way that there's a moment where everything kind of comes back down together like that. 2 regular swords. This one with like the little bit more intimidating icon. I'm going to pick that one. I assume it's going to be more challenging, and I'm curious what exactly that's going to entail. It doesn't even look that wild. Like, we've certainly seen simpler, but I wouldn't say this one is that devastating. We are... Ooh, this guy's going to attack both. I haven't actually seen a city guardsman yet. Deal 5 damage to opponent rank. Prioritizes front rank. So right now we have everything pointed at you. We're definitely going to want to move you out of the way. Great sword at everyone. No, I'm going to go ahead with this. Select a card to discard. I'll discard one of my mercies. I have the charge now to apply to my great sword swing that I can then swing at every enemy. And apply to a target ally. Move swap them to a target position. Yes, I want to use this on you. And I want to stick you over here. I could stick him in the back too. It just doesn't really seem overly worth it. Didn't take out anyone, but I've negated most damage. Oh, right, of course, he attacks the whole rank. So I'm still receiving that no matter what. But no one's even getting through the block here, which is the main thing I would concern myself with. And evaded. Tight form would be defending everyone. We got this back row here. Is all we have to worry about. It's probably worth it to mark him. For each character in back rank. That would be my own back rank. My own, which is nothing right now. Ooh, damage to the lane. I'm definitely going to want that. I'm doing it. It's happening. I won't kill him. Both guys. I should mark... Or, yeah, mark whoever I think is most likely to die this turn. Can I kill anyone? I can kill a couple. I was kind of hoping that I'd be able to take out this guy. Reduce all damage there. That's fine. You're marked. I'm going to go ahead and use that. Draw a card for each character in the back rank. Yeah. Nothing there. Can't do it. I had to read it again just to be sure. And each character in the rank gains some shielding. That's nice to have. All right. I think this is coming together very well. There's a surprising number of considerations to make per turn, but things are already starting to pick up and feel a little bit more like I have enough variables in my control to like manage. Oh, I've already used the will. So I can't even use that one, actually. I kind of thought I had that available to me. Finish him off. No problem. You take him out. It would have to bleed, so either way, he was done for. Man, now that I've suddenly applied all of this extra blocking cards, now I'm not drawing enough offensive stuff. You guys, Reckless Aid, protect him, even though it doesn't really matter. I was seeing if I could just boost the defense to crazy levels. I guess this is going to get drawn out to one more than I intended. Perhaps Oh, he still managed to take 1 damage to his actual health. Perhaps there will be an extra reward or something. That's totally what it is. That must be part of what that combat icon meant. Challenge. Mirror an opponent's block. Its block stacks? Slightly confused on that one. I think I'll pass. Equipment, though, no reason not to. A spear and warhammer. Is that what you two guys are carrying? Or are these extra items that I have? Primary weapon is the hatchet. So could I be swapping that out? Maybe that is what they're carrying. Oh, here's the option. If it's crippled, deal double damage. I have nothing that applies crippled. And warhammer, 13 damage, applies vulnerable and bleeding. If target is already vulnerable, apply overwhelm. The character receives 25% more damage from attacks. So it's really similar to vulnerable. It's just that they get really mangled. Oh, it's cheap to play this one. It only costs the 1. And you could really pile on with the vulnerable and the overwhelm and the bleed and everything. Seems like it could be good. Could be useful. Maybe I'll give you the warhammer then. Yeah, I think I'm going to play around with that. The added damage and everything there. Oh, could it only have gone to you? Let me see if I swap to the bear. It only can go to Gray. It has like the particular icon for him. Well, I thought I was getting some like armor. It's fine, I guess. Continue. It just says equipment. It doesn't say any more than that. So did I only get to keep the 1 thing then? Since I only selected that there's no excess equipment here, it doesn't seem like. Extra will? Just 'cause, I guess, perhaps. And on this level, I don't have... No, oh, I have this to apply instead. To choose a passive. Start each combat with extra will. At the start of the turn... Okay, whenever the character deals damage, apply 1 bleed. And whenever this character receives damage, the attacker gains a poison. Would that include blocked damage? Probably, right? I like Cutthroat. I personally just like that. I guess we'll try and make it to the end here. Standard combat. I would like to make it to the end of one of the lanes and just see what's waiting for us there. Wow. That was based on me assuming that, I'm great at this and it's not going to be a problem. So 7 overall will. 2, 4, 5, 7. I can play this, get an extra card out of it, and it'll totally be worth it. Because then I'll get that little bit extra out of it. First things first, Greatsword. Greatsword, everyone. That one's simple. Don't even have to really think too hard on it. 2 overbearing swings. The lane isn't going to matter here. No, can't really take advantage of that. So I'll just attack literally any of them. Ooh, 2 of them are targeting my boy, our boy. So I should probably try and take out one guy here for sure. And then Reckless Aid, you're each going to receive what? 10 damage, you'll both live, that's fine. Who needs the block more? Reckless Aid, can I apply it to either one of them? Even if that active character. It can only apply to an ally. I wanted to clear that up. It was a question I kind of had earlier. Well, this is protecting you from the bear-on-bear devastation. Some fury. The next time this character attacks, or for every attack in a multi-attack, the damage is increased. Oh, it's charge. Fury made it happen. At the end of this turn, the character gains charge equal to stacks of fury, and in fury increases by 2. Oh, so that's gonna build up very quickly, isn't it? That's pretty out of control. Man, now I have all these defensive things, and it's just like too much, really. All right, you have the higher weapon damage now. That's pretty awesome, actually. Cancel? I don't know if I want to do that now. Alright, I'm discarding that, I guess. It wasn't really what I was intending. And I used up the status from the wrong character, I guess. Yeah, see, I was never gonna really get much advantage out of the miasma. I might have this turn. I could have spent my cards a lot better there, and maybe Gray wouldn't have had to take any damage, or at least a very minimal amount. I got a little overly confident. Remove all block and do 12 damage. That's not even that strong. This guy's dying no matter what, so I don't even have to worry about it. I can just kind of focus on hammering on him. It's not going to get me very far, is it? Defend both of you guys. The attacks are being split up between them. So it's worth it for you to protect Gray. And we can move him out of the way. That's always great. It has to apply to that guy. Dang it, of course. Even though he was the one who had bleed and everything applied to him. Big time fury, applying lots of bleed. I've had more to worry about than previously. Whew. Was never really that concerning, but it was certainly riskier. Focus fire, whenever the opponent is attacked, apply 1 overwhelm. That's... Would it count attacks for the rest of battle, or for that one turn? Vanguard, deal 6 damage if active character is front rank, plus 4 damage. Heavy blow is good as well. I'll take the front rank one. Hesitation. There's not a moment to lose. Hesitate and you're going to take a beating. Tackle it head on and you'll just just about get away. On expiry, party takes 5 damage, or I could just fight them. Heavy patrol and the juggler, very acrobatic hair, throws all kinds of objects high in the air in a dramatic display. He seems to be drawing them out of thin air. I'll take the damage and see what kind of fun cards there are. Deal 3 damage. If it dies, draw 3 cards. Second Wind we've seen. Quick Hand and Momentum. Not that excited about any of those, truly. I'm just going to take the damage instead. Off-duty guards. They wreak a booze. They'll turn into drunken guards next time. The Knife Merchant. A smug-looking beaver is obsessively polishing his wares as they glint in the light of festive lanterns. Or I could take on a heavy combat and earn equipment or something. I'll do the Knife Merchant. War cry. This like little, what, a beaver just shouting so intensely. Apply charge equal to weapon damage. Wow. Oh wow, what? And move swap to the front rank. That's nuts. You do so much damage after that, but it uses quite a lot of stamina. Pincher, deal 8 damage, apply 2 charge to another ally. Coordination, if active character is in front rank, deal weapon damage. In back, apply 3 charge to an ally in front of them. Both this and this are good. I can only afford the one, so I guess I'm only buying that one. Those guys should turn into drunken guards. I'm going to take the Florins off them. An easy progression to skip some combat there. No need to bother with the juggler again. I'm pretty much... I have new gold, but their stuff was okay. A hooded figure emerges from the shadows, startling you for a moment. They reveal a friendly token and offer you something for the road. Or intelligence, you find a letter from your superiors detailing important information concerning the enemy. This would be enough to level up Idwick. Or I could see what the provisions look like. I'm kind of curious. May the wind always be at your back. It's a card option. It's fair enough. Wild Brawl, deal 6 damage to the rank. Or Flurry, deal weapon damage and apply an overwhelm if dual wielding an extra overwhelm. Well, that seems really strong. And the road, rise up to meet you. Well, thank you, Strange Wolf. Which one of these was allies? Suddenly I'm feeling more that I want that. Crossroads. Clear street to this depth. Clear everything out, and then I'm probably going to try and push through here. A smithy. You hear the clanging of steel and feel the sweltering heat through a small archway. Oh, they don't have the timers anymore. Burst of hearty laughter explode from this shady establishment. Some brawny folks sit at the bar. Does that mean the cheapest one costs $450? I kind of think that's what it's saying, and I'm stuck. Damn it. I hadn't thought about that I shouldn't have bought all those cards. A small, humble institute, yet you see some cloaked figures shuffling about. You would heal up. I guess I heal then. Crap. That costs money too. Oh, of course it does. Damn. That's really rough then. And now I'm faced with the final stretch here. Hideout alley, the walls slope, and it's blocked. And the hideout itself, a safe house for you and your fellow loyalists. Slip through here into the next street. Missed my opportunity to hire a crew there. It's a trap. Everywhere is a trap. It looks like the Enders got here first. Prepare to fight. No matter where I click, I'm fighting some guys. Man, I wish I had an extra party member. Look at the heavy health these guys have. He's going to deal 12 damage. Bolster. On turn end, this character gains shield for every stack of bolster. Ticks down by 1. So right now he has none of that. But his fury is something I'm going to have to worry about. This was really strong. If dual wielding, so I should definitely use that with Idwick. Is there anything else I can kind of worry about stacking up and taking advantage of here? Deal 6 damage if character is in the front rank. Let me kind of think about all this here. That's 6 altogether. I can totally spend everything. You are... Actually, do you know what? If I really commit, I'll attack this guy since they're together both attacking Idwick. Ooh, the Cutthroat applied some extra bleed, which is handy. I'll try and take him out so that they're not both ganging up on our boy here. I have no charge to speak of. This would make the most sense to use with Idwick. I think if I attack you here, like, I'm not going to kill him or anything, but between the vulnerable he already had applied and everything, it's my best bet is to just really pile on there. And from here, it doesn't really matter who I use which card with. Overwhelmed, all that, really great. Would this, I'm just curious, would this apply a Cutthroat 3 times? Like 3 bleeds? Oh my god, it does. That passive ability is so wildly strong all of a sudden. I'm so glad I invested in that one in particular. That's wicked. Alright, let's start chipping away at the bear, maybe? I guess? I don't know. That one's a little tough. He'll die. Don't have to worry about it. But now it's 2-on-2. These guys deal quite a bit of damage and are just going to keep getting stronger. Every time this character receives more than 15 damage from an attack, they gain 3 charge and 5 bolster. That's terrible. I'm quite scared of Sledge. Sledge is the name. And we got Billman over there. To the entire rank. That one's good. I definitely want that. I'm going to second wind my guy. Great sword, everyone. It's easy. Don't have to think about that very much. Then I got to figure out who's receiving which block. Alright, Gray is most at risk. So I can use Reckless Aid. Keep him safe. They're not going to deal a ton of damage. I would be safe with that alone. But I can also just keep piling it on. Why not? Just go for it. End turn, tons of block. Just trying to keep everyone safe and sound. Oh god. His charge ramping up is quite terrifying. And now retaliate? Whenever this character receives damage from an attack, they deal damage equal to stacks and retaliate back, removed at the start of their next turn. Right now he has none of that, but he's planning to use a thing that will lead to it, which is scary. I could do 24 damage, but would remove all my block. So no one's planning to attack him right now. So this would be the time to do it, actually. Here's a funny little trick that I can play around with. I'm gonna move you over here. It doesn't really matter where you end up. What of your things do I have to be most concerned with right now? Fury. He's gonna get Fury no matter what. He doesn't have... Oh, he does have Shrug It Off right now. Damn it. Like, you gotta try and chip away at him, not massive damage all at once. Oh, damn it! You can't use it! You don't have the willpower! I didn't even think of that! Dumb move. Crap. Shoot, I should have moved you out of the way. Oh my god, that was foolish. I thought I could just hammer away at this guy, just go buck wild and completely take him out. Now it doesn't matter what I do. What a waste. Ah, I'm sorry to put you in harm's way like that, Idwick. Hey, why'd you just, like, dodge? What's up with that? That must have been something he did. I must not have been looking at what he was planning to do. He is planning to apply some bleed now, so I should worry about that. Trauma first. I should trauma you. I think deal 8 damage and apply the charge to my buddy. So what does that bring this up to? 14? So I can get him ready to be killed. He'll die next turn. That's great. This guy's got friggin' retaliate and all his other things piled against him now. Yikes. They're both getting attacked next turn. But I can start applying some bleed to this guy. He's going to retaliate. It wasn't more than 15 damage, I don't think, so he shouldn't have used that power, the Shrug It Off against me. Chill out with all that. Only going to deal 4 damage. Nothing crazy. Every time we draw a card, apply poison. I should use this now. Except for the fact that only you can use it, and you can't because I already used up the will. Damn it. That's a little bit disappointing then, isn't it? 13 damage. Easy decision there. But his charge and his bolster and everything is going out of control here. So I'm pretty terrified of that. I could use both of these. I think that's probably the right call. Solid footing. You boost him up because he's about to be in some serious risk here. He's overwhelmed. He's vulnerable. He's got so many status effects stacked. There was that one card that was like, its effectiveness was based on how many things are stacked against a character. I guess against like a big boss fight is where that's going to become the most effective. Use the Vanguard because he's right up front. He's got all kinds of negatives applied to him. Targets everyone. He was toast. He had so much poison or bleeding and everything stacked against him. Uses 3 will. I'd like never afford that. Jeez. Unholy Communion. Whenever this character takes damage from bleed, your party heals 4 vitality. That's kind of nuts. Double Team. Gain 6 block and 1 charge if the character has any neighbors of the same race, so a pair of mice or bears or anything. They all gain 12 and 5 charge. Wow. My party's really not built for that. Mirror an opponent's defenses. I would pick that up in the hopes that someday I hire a character that I could match up there and make use of with that. Medium armor right now. Well, yeah, I want to try and apply it here. Start each combat with 30 and with 18. Right now, you guys both start with 14, correct? You can have the bigger one. Oh, that's awesome. I love that it actually shows the change, that it actually looks different. That's pretty impressive, actually, that the character's that there would be that commitment to the unique art for every character like that. Because, like, it obviously has to be a completely different shape for a bear versus for, like, the weasel character here. That's really cool. That's really awesome that they bothered. I love that extra detail there. I really, really love that. You emerge victorious after 11 rounds. One character leveled up. Your passive ability, Preparation. At the start of your turn, if the character has any will, they gain 1 preparation. Allows you to draw extra cards. Rage. Wrathful. At the start of their turn, if this character has less than 30% vitality, they gain rage. Deals double damage. Double damage, yeah. Jesus. And people take poison damage. I want the rage. The rage is obviously the coolest, best thing. It's perfect for me. I'm going for it. Extra will. And then we emerge out onto the next street here. There's wealth, 1,000 florins, or level up a character, or heal everyone 100%, which they're actually already healed, so I wouldn't have to worry about that. Guys, this is my first look at Banners of Ruin. I hope it showed off the awesome artwork, the variety of strategies and characters, and the different ways it combines combat, navigation, random events, deck building, turn-based combat from a variety of different games to make something quite unique, in my opinion. I think that's very cool. If people want to see more of the game, they'll have to let me know. But for now, I'm going to set things aside. I truly hope it saves when I hit quit. That would be really awful. Quit? Fingers crossed that that actually stays where it was. Continue versus abandoned run. Phew. Relief there. Guys, if you want to check out the game for yourself, please follow the link down below. That's actually tied to that sponsorship. It helps me out. It's great. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I think it's a lot of fun. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.